I'm Tom Vasel, and welcome to Look Back. This is where I go back a year, 5 years, and 10 years ago, and talk about the reviews that I did then, and tell you what I think about them now. Well, except for this time, going back a year is not really possible, since a year ago, we were fleeing from a hurricane. Happily, there's no hurricane coming right now. So let's go back to 5 years ago. First of all, we have the Lost Dutchman. This was a go out and find gold, explore and find gold nuggets and add them to your collection. It's okay. I mean, it's inoffensive, it's like a very light family style game. Trick or Treat, same kind of deal. You're going up and down the street trying to collect candy and keep away from the bully. This is more of a kid style game. There's a lot of games that have this Trick or Treat type in their name. Dwarf Miner, again, we're still on this realm of these are okay games. This at a grid and you're trying to collect the resources to get tiles. I don't know that the dwarf or the miner part really comes through in this, but it's not a bad game either. Crossways, this is a game where you're going to be playing cards and stuff to connect across the board. It reminds me of Sequence almost, or at least it's in the same category. If you like Sequence, you'll like this game. All right, let's jump up a little. Blood Bowl. This one dropped. Bloodbound, not Blood Bowl. Bloodbound dropped a bit for me because this is a social deduction game, and I didn't like the artwork. Now, they've since come out with a newer version with better artwork. But it just doesn't stand out in a very crowded genre of social deduction games where you're trying to figure things out and guess who's who. There's a lot of these games out there, and this one just isn't as good as the ones that have come out in the years since. Then we have Manhattan Project Second Stage. This is an expansion with 4 modules for the Manhattan Project, added nations and things, and some of them are worth sticking in. It's not like an essential expansion by any means, but it adds some good stuff. And then 1775 Rebellion. This one, folks, is an excellent game. This is in the line of games from Academy Games that mixes kind of area control with a very light war game feel. This one that brought the Revolutionary War into full swing. I really enjoyed the back and forth. I do like the Vikings one a lot, but this might be my favorite, maybe other than the Vikings one. All right, 10 years ago, I played some horrific games. Adventurer, the card game. This is like Talisman, and I'm not a big fan of Talisman, but as a card game and with worse artwork. No decisions, not good at all. Reels and Deals, also not very good. This is a movie-making game, but there's lots of take-that cards. There's annoying bookkeeping involved in it. Just not worth your time. King Toad. We're talking Uno style here. And maybe this is point towards kids, but again, not a lot of good decisions in this game, so not one that I could recommend. Now, you probably haven't heard of any of those 3 games, but then the next one, World of Warcraft Adventure Game. Now, this came on the heels of the big, giant World of Warcraft game, which I liked okay. Probably hasn't passed the test of time that well because of how long the combat phase is and everything. The World of Warcraft Adventure Game was a much more streamlined game, but didn't feel, it was kind of ringing off Talisman a bit to some degree, I think. It's like almost good, but I just didn't find it that engaging. Then jumping to Rapscallion. This is a card collection style game from Bezier Games. Bezier Games makes a lot of great games these days. Rapscallion was back before they became well known and started making their much better style games, but this one wasn't bad. Galactic Emperor. It's interesting, this one's 10 years old. I distinctly remember when this came out, we're like, ooh, a smaller Twilight Imperium. Well, not really. It's more of a Euro-style game and cube pushing around. And again, this is a game that drops just a bit because there are so many other games that are similar and fit this space better, like, for example, Eclipse. Then we have, let's see, Climb. Climb is a very unique game. It is a game where you are putting your fingers on holes, and then you are moving your fingers up and climbing with your fingers without falling over. It's a really odd, unusual dexterity game, but I have to give it credit for that. Then we have Wealth of Nations. Now, Wealth of Nations, I remember this. This is a super strong economic game. It's back and forth as you're hiring. There's tile placement and there's this back and forth economy with workers and resources, and it's a little heady, but there's some really cool things involved with it. I haven't played this in a long while, but I do remember each time I played it, and when I was done, I was like, wow, there was a lot going on in that game, but I did enjoy it quite a bit. And then finally, Time's Up Title Recall. I love Time's Up. Title Recall, even better. I like the idea of guessing people, but the idea of guessing movies and song titles and things, it's amazing to me. This is 10 years old now. I distinctly remember when this comes out. And of all the games I've listed today, in both 5 years and 10 years ago, this is the one that I played more than all the rest put together, honestly. This is just a great version of Time's Up. Well, that's that. Those are the reviews I did, well, 5 and 10 years ago. Until next time, I'm Tom Vasel, and you've been watching The Dice Tower.